for all things Halloween, this is hauntformer, and welcome back to, hopefully, my final video on the Spirit Halloween sneak peeks for 2020. This has been an amazing season, everyone. I am very thankful for all of you, for your patience, and for leaving such kind comments on these videos. My next video, I'm gonna wait to see if they're gonna throw out anything else. I think we're done. But my next video is going to be a ranking on the entire lineup. And there have been a lot of animatronics, a lot of good ones, a few sucky ones. But on the whole, this has been a really impressive year from Spirit. I'm excited to see the stores. I'm excited to see the energy in there, even with the COVID stuff. And for the years beyond, I think it's really, really fascinating. But to round up this season, I have 4 of the final animatronics, 1 static, and then 3 other animatronics. We're talking about Twisted Tina, Ellie, Hatchet, Angeline, and Miss Mercy. So let's start off with Twisted Tina, which is the most plain of these 4. Twisted Tina is a static. She's kind of like possessed wall hanger, doesn't do anything. You can just kind of have her positioned up on walls and make her pose in weird positions, I guess. For $100, I think she's pretty overpriced. She's kind of like a glorified dummy, essentially. But the look of her is, I wouldn't spend money on her, and I think you shouldn't either, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. Now on to Angeline. This prop has been getting a lot of attention online. And I would have to say this is probably my second least favorite of the year. Of course, after Johnny Punk. Johnny Punk. Because it just looks weird. And it doesn't really make any sense. She doesn't look ghostly enough. The face looks like a robot. And now I will say this. The uncanny valley-ness of her face is very present. I'm very uncomfortable looking at this animatronic, as you probably are too. I think this would have worked so much better if it was supposed to be an animatronic. Like, if this looked like a creepy animatronic that, like, moved weirdly and it's like, that would have been awesome, and that might have been my favorite prop of the year. But unfortunately, it's not. And it's supposed to be a little girl who turns her head and swings her legs and talks on the tombstone. It's just not doing it for me. This tombstone props have gotten old. I really don't use them because I don't put a lot outside. And this one just looks really off color to me. So, Now on to another is Ellie HATCHET. Now, Ellie HATCHET also has been, kind of debated in the community. I've seen a lot of people, you guys, talking about these animatronics. Ellie HATCHET is this little girl who has a hatchet or an axe above her head, and she swings it down and goes up and kind of swings it down towards you. And I think she's like $170, which isn't the worst price. Could be cheaper. Could be like $120, like the Hauntress. But okay. Not a terrible idea. In execution, I think she's okay. For some reason, her face reminds me of Angelica from the Rugrats, and that's not like the best thing. I think it looks a little cartoony. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but it's not really for me. I think if they wanted her to work, I think she should have been more like country themed, maybe more of a country southern dress, or like why can't I think of it? Overalls on her, or something like that would have made it fit a little better, but she's got this like little schoolgirl dress on, she's holding a hatchet. Doesn't really click in my brain. She's not bad. I'm sure some people are going to get her this year, but for me, I want to see her in stores, but I am not super impressed by the video. But I'm going to end these sneak peeks on a high note, because the last prop on my list is Miss Mercy, who is this nurse who moves from side to side, and her head I can't do it because I'd break my neck. But she spins her head around like that, kind of like The Exorcist, kind of like Reagan, but she spun it more this way, and Miss Mercy spins it kind of this way. And I think she's awesome. I honestly think this might be my favorite one. I think Krampus is ultimately my favorite because of how cool he is, and I love the movie. But I think Miss Mercy might just be the one I'm going to get this year. I think Krampus is a little too out of my price range as of right now. But Miss Mercy is $200, and for what she does, I really think she's creepy. This is one of the more disturbing props I've seen of Spirit of recent. And when I first saw her, I was like, alright, a nurse. Okay. But I saw the animation and the audio, which is very creepy, and I let it simmer. And I'm like, you know what? This is actually really good. I love the audio. The laughing's very sinister. It's not over the top, like, it's just like, and then she's got the bone snapping. She moves side to side, and she looks very creepy. And then, of course, her head moves while she's moving. It's just a very unnatural look. The nurse thing, part of me wishes she was more generic and just a zombie, but I also think the white makes her stand out. And I could easily see myself using her alongside props like Maniac and Spasm, which I already own, because they all kind of fit together with that mental asylum hospital motif that I very much enjoy. It's up there with the zombie and the alien thing for me. So Miss Mercy is really good. I would not be surprised if she's the one I get this season when I go into Spirit Halloween. Unfortunately, I don't believe she's being set up, which is a bummer. And if you're watching this and if you work at Spirit, or if you're a manager or whatever, because I know I have a lot of fans who are at Spirit, please suggest to whoever you can to put these new animatronics in the store. Because I don't know about you, but to me, I really want to see something in person before I shell out money to get it. Now, me being a YouTuber, I would get Miss Mercy and set her up and do a demo and a video for you guys so you can see how she works. But in terms of the average consumer who doesn't watch me or any haunter, I really think it's important to have these things presented in the store. Especially when they're bringing back Sam and Crouchy the Clown and a bunch of other props. There's no excuse why we can't see Krampus, Miss Mercy, and the like actually present in the store. I know they're filler props, but I think they can easily be set up somewhere. So that's my little public service announcement. So yeah, the other three animatronics, but Miss Mercy, definitely one of the best of this year and maybe one of the best of the last several years. Very creepy. I also like how they gave you the option to put gauze over her eyes, and when you open her eyes, they're like squinted. So there could be something you could add into a backstory there. Overall, I really enjoyed the lineup from Spirit this year. I think it was very solid. I love the originality of all the different animatronics. We've got Krampus, we got clowns, we got a nurse, we got so many different things. Plague doctors, like, wow, it was incredible. I love seeing the originality, and I hope Spirit will continue on this trend. And I actually, for being someone who complains about pricing usually, have to say that the prices this year were very fair on the whole. A few exceptions, obviously the Phantom, no. And I even feel like kinda the Soul guy, I think he could be a little bit cheaper. But on the whole, very impressed with this year. I'm going to be working on the ranking, so give me a little bit of time with that. Also, for everyone who is asking, store walkthroughs are coming. So don't be afraid, they are coming and more of them. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.